All right, for worst match of the year, we have John Cena versus Randy Orton from the Royal Rumble, Layla versus Summer Rae from the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, as well as from the Elimination Chamber we have Batista and Alberto Del Rio, the Divas Battle Royal from WrestleMania, Lesnar and Undertaker from, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker from WrestleMania, and John Cena versus Bray Wyatt from Extreme Rules. Now, which of their matches was that? Was that the cage match?
That was the one with the cage match with the child
kid at the end. Yeah, that wasn't. I don't think that was a bad match. It was just creepy. But
yeah, it was just really lame because, I mean, it was not that exciting of a match, and then the finish was just totally stupid. Brock Lesnar and Undertaker was a bad match, but of course it ended epically with the streak being over and everyone being completely shocked. Divas Battle Royal was just bad, but I mean that's the norm with the Divas matches. Batista Del Rio was not that good, and the crowd did not care about Batista. They were doing the Bootista chants.
Yeah. Blutista.
Layla Summer Rae, once again, bad match, but that's the norm most of the time with the Divas matches. Even though it technically wasn't really a bad match, John Cena versus Randy Orton was completely rejected by the fans. They booed it out of the building. And, you know, I compare it to Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg from WrestleMania 20, a match that technically wasn't terrible, but the crowd just hated it so much. It's going to live in infamy forever in wrestling history. So I'm going to go with Cena versus Orton just because it has that notoriety and the fact that the crowd just completely shit on that match just like they did for Brock and Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. That's my pick.
Well, you asked me on the walk here if I had a match that wasn't in the nominations that I was going to put in here.
Yeah.
And I actually do for this one.
Okay.
But we'll get to that in a minute. My two picks, and I'm gonna break it down. I'll break the tie. That's okay.
Okay.
Are the matches from WrestleMania.
Yeah. That
Divas Invitational that Vicky put on, the AJ one, was just flat awful.
Right.
It was horrible. And the fact that AJ still managed to win and then lose the next night completely negated the entire match. Useless match right there. And then I'm going to piss my dad off. Whatever. The streak ending. That match, except for the last 10 seconds and the aftermath, was bullshit. It was terrible. Brock owned The Undertaker. But my pick that's not in here is another match where Brock owned the guy for the entire match. Cena at SummerSlam. We sat there and we watched that match and Brock suplexed him for 20 minutes. That's all that match was 16 suplexes, 2 F5s, and some brief flurries by Cena. That match was god-awful. But because it was our golden boy, John Cena, getting the shit beat out of him, nobody thinks it was a bad match. Except people like me who were sitting there and watching from afar a kid in tears in the front row and the dad laughing at the kid for being in tears. That's how bad that match was. It turned people into bad parents.
Wow.
That's how bad that match was. Oy.
But people were really happy that Brock won, so I can't complain about that.
And that's fine, but the match itself was just shit.
It was unique. It was different.
Oh, it was terrible. It's terrible.
Well, there you have it. Jeff did not like that match.
Didn't like it at all.